Hello, fellow survivor, and welcome. So, you've been playing the Long Dark for a while now, and you've been enjoying the normal difficulties. You've been getting experience and surviving, but now you want to amp it up a little bit more, and you want to try a harder difficulty. You decided to choose Stalker mode. Now you're excited about it. You want to try Stalker mode. You want to see how long you could survive, and that's good. New difficulties and new challenges are always great, but you don't know how to go about it. Basically, you don't know what will be the difference, what will change and stuff like that, and you're basically worried and you want to know basically what it's needed to survive in this new difficulty you chose. So don't worry, this is what we're going to be doing today. This is going to be a guide to basically ease you into Stalker mode, to show you basically the ways you could go about surviving. Now, before we start the guide, I would like to tell you something. Everything that I'm going to be telling you here, everything I'm going to be showing you here basically about Stalker mode, it's the way that I go about surviving, the way that I play, basically the regions I choose, the reasons why I choose these sections and stuff like that. You know, the way that I do things, basically, is what I'm trying to say. This is only to give you the information and the knowledge needed for you to survive. What you need to do, the how you call it, the if or don'ts, basically, or what basically you should learn, basically, so you can become basically a survival machine, basically, in this new difficulty you have chosen. So by me saying that, what I'm trying to say is that you don't have once you have the knowledge and everything that you need from watching this guide, you don't need to basically start in the regions that I will start on. You don't need to do the things that I do here. Basically, you already have the knowledge and stuff like that. You already are an expert basically on this. So if you want to choose a different region, you can. You could choose a whole different region. You could do different things. You know, you could go about the way that you want to play your file. But this video, like I said, when you see here things, is the things that I do. There are many different dark players out there that play completely different and have many information that I don't, basically. Things they learn, things they do, so you can learn from them too as well. But this is what I'm going to be showing you today, basically, all right? So without any more interruptions, let's go ahead and jump into our guide on how to survive in Stalker mode. Okay, so now we're going to choose basically our difficulty. Long Dark provides players with many difficulties depending on your experience in the game and how long you've been playing it and stuff like that. Today, we're going to be focusing on Stalker mode. This is a difficulty the guy is going to focus on how to survive on this difficulty and basically become an expert machine in this, okay? However, if you are new to the Long Dark, completely new, and you want to try the game, you've been seeing people play it, you want to try it, I would suggest you start in Pilgrim mode. Pilgrim mode is a great mode. It's basically easy walkthrough mode, basically. You can still die in this difficulty, you can still take damage, you can still die, but it takes a lot of effort for that to happen. You have to really like be dedicated to basically kill yourself, but you don't want to be doing that. But like I said, if you're new to the game and you want to ease yourself into the game, you want to explore the new regions without any issue whatsoever, you want the wildlife to leave you alone, such as bears, wolves, and moose, you want to start here, okay? Because right here, when you start this, you walk through areas, you run into a wolf or bear or anything like that, they will completely leave you alone. They will run away from you. They want nothing to do with you, basically. So this is the way to go, basically, if you're trying to basically ease your way into the game, you're new to it, go ahead and do that. You know, um, However, if you play Pilgrim mode, and then you move to Voyager, Stalker mode, Interloper, be aware that only in Pilgrim mode the wildlife will leave you alone. If you try to do that in Voyager, Stalker, Interloper, they will kill you. They will attack you. So be aware of that, okay? But like I said, what we're going to be focusing on is Stalker mode. That's what we're going to be doing. So let's move to the next section of the guide, which is going to be the regions, the two regions that I would choose to show you guys where I start from and how we go about it, basically, okay? So let's go ahead and do that, and I'll see you guys in the next section. All right, so let's go ahead and choose a region. As you can see, the Long Dark provides you with many regions you can start on depending on your playstyle and your knowledge already in the game. You could choose the region of your choice. But for this guide, basically, we're doing for soccer mode, we're going to be focusing on the two regions I like to start on and the reasons why, basically. So the two regions we're going to be choosing today is going to be Desolation Point and Coastal Highway. Desolation Point, I like to choose this region to start from because this is basically a very easy region for you to explore. You can't get lost on there, and you basically get to learn the region a little bit more better because, like I said, it's not very huge. That directs to many different things. Also, there's a lot of items here you can find. Stalker mode, as you're aware, is not very is very greedy on giving you stuff. Basically, you're not gonna get a lot of like food or supplies or anything like that because they're limited basically down to what you could get. It's not like when you play Voyager or Pilgrim that you'll find an abundance so basically of supplies you could take with you back. Basically, this one you will find items, but to a certain, like I said, percentage of them. But whatever you find, you could take with you back. Whatever's important that you feel that you need, such as food, water, or anything like that, you could take back with you. You have to make the choices. If you're carrying too much, what you should leave behind that is not necessary, and what you should take back with you, basically. The other reason why, too, as well, I like this selection point in starting here, is because you have guarantee, basically, a spawn of a bow, of a hunter's bow. You can find it here, and you can find it hopefully with a few arrows. If not, you are guaranteed to find a bow and a backpack, basically. But depending on your file, and if you get lucky, you could probably get a bow that might have two arrows. You'll find one arrow next to the bow and one next to the dead deer that's right next to it, basically. The other reason too as well is because you have a really there's spawn sections here where you have a chance of basically finding either a rifle or a revolver. You know, now it's not a guarantee spawn for these. They could be there or they cannot be there, depending, like I said, how lucky you get. You'll be able to find them. You may not. I have files where I have started here, and I have found the rifle, and I even found the revolver, and now I have three weapons to take back with me. I have the bow, the rifle, and the revolver with me. So I got that lucky, basically. But there's times where you might even go in there and you'll find nothing. So you go back at least with a bow. You have a bow with you, but you might probably find just a revolver and go back with a bow and revolver. Or if not, you'll find the rifle and you have two weapons. Now you could go back with the rifle and the bow. Or like I said, you might get lucky like me and find the three weapons. Two extra weapons, I meant to say, because the bow is guaranteed, basically. But yeah, that's the reason why I like to start here, because you have that advantage. You could get these things right ahead before you move to the next area where you're going to be making your base, basically, where you want to make your home. Basically, like that. Also, this area too, as well, it has a forge in the ship that's sunk over here. I forget the name of it, but there's a forge there in case you want to come back and make arrowheads or anything that you might need. There's a forge in this area too as well. Or if you already have the things here, if you're probably gonna stay here for a little bit more longer and maybe make some arrowheads before you go over there or something, you can stay here and use the forge. But like I said, small region, you could get anything that you need here and move it back forward. Move it back with you to your next region you're gonna move to, your whatever you're gonna make your home. In this case, my home is going to be Coastal Hwy. Coastal Hwy is a huge region. It's pretty big. Not as big as other ones that I've seen, but this is a big region. And if by any chance, let's say were in Desolation Point and you didn't find the rifle or the revolver and you just got the bow, then don't worry, because once you come over here, you have more chances now of finding basically the revolver or the rifle, because it spawns here. It has like certain sections where it spawn there. I'm gonna try to link a map over here too as well to show you where everything spawns if you want to take a look at that. If not, you can skip it, but I'll try to place it there. But yeah, this region, like I said, if you didn't find anything over there, you come over here, you have more chances too as well. Other reason why I like this is because, let's say I ran out of bullets or I ran out of arrows, or I didn't get any ammunition over there, or I just have ammunition, like maybe 2 bullets left and I don't want to be wasting them and I want to hunt or anything like that, or I have no way of hunting, stuff like that. I could just go to the lakes, and if I have the fishing hooks or anything like that, I could actually go fishing and get myself some fish and survive like that. There's also a few cattails you can find here, not a lot. I believe there is some cattails going more up ahead, basically, you can find. And also you can find a lot of rabbits in Jack Rabbit Island, I believe, that you could also use with a stone. You could kill them with a stone and bring rabbits with you in case you don't have a fishing hook. But there's many things you could do to survive here, basically. And also it connects to a lot of the regions. The reason why I like this, in case when I already gather everything that I need here, and let's say at a point, at day whatever, I'm already running out of supplies, like food or anything to sharpen my weapons with, my hatchet or anything like that, or anything that I might need. I can move to the next region and go resupply and grab that stuff and bring it back with me. That's the reason why I like starting here. But like I said, these are my choices. Like I said, we are here to teach you the knowledge and how to survive and how to become better at this game. Once you watch this video and you feel comfortable and you start your file and you feel you know what, I can start in a different region, then by all means go ahead and do that. Like I said, we all play differently, we all try different things, but this is the way that I go about things and stuff like that. But like I said, Coastal Highway is a great region. I like it. The area that I do stay off, it is the gas station that's here in Coastal Highway, and it is a very dangerous region. But if you watch the video and you keep seeing, it's very easy for you to deal with the wolves, especially if you have the bow. Especially if you have any kind of weapons, you could get rid of them, and all you have to be alert is when you go out to be aware, basically sounds and stuff like that, because there is wolves, there is a bear or a moose that can spawn there, will patrol the area and stuff like that. But you just gotta be aware, and I believe every region is like that. No matter what the region you choose, you always gotta be alert. You always gotta be careful, because I believe each region is dangerous, depending on what you're doing and stuff like that. But these are going to be the two regions of my choice, and this is what we're gonna why I choose the regions. The reasons I told you now is the reasons why I choose them. And I believe if you choose these, if you want to start with this, that will help you out a lot to understand the game and survive a little bit more better. But like I said, depending on there, if you want to choose something different, you can. So let's go ahead and we're going to move to the next, section of the guide. Alright, so now we're going to be showing you what all the weapons spawn, basically. The places where you can find the bow, the rifle, the revolver. So I'm going to be trying to show you each one at a time. So let's go ahead and start with the bow. Now, we spawned it here right now. We chose the radar character. We chose our feats. Feats are basically like little badges that you get, and they can help you in different things, in the game, such as like help you better, like to resist the cold, to walk better in the snow, things like that. You choose those, when you are making your file. But we already chose all of that. So once you choose all of that, you get sent to the region, and the region will spawn you in the area, in a section of the region of their choice, basically. So you can either spawn by the broken bridge, near the mine entrance, near the two of the mine entrances. You could get spawned by the road where I'm at, or even inside the lighthouse at times. But let's go ahead and show you what the bow is at, because we're actually really close to the bow right now. So if you spawn here on your file, you'll see this. There's basically nowhere you could go here in this road. We're basically exactly where we want to be. So from here, we're going to move forward, and I'm going to show you where the bow is at. The bow is going to be right over here. Let's make a run for it. Follow this road, and once you come to this area here where you see the stop sign in this tree here, once you see this tree, go up here. Keep following it. Go through here. I forget the name of the section up here. I don't remember. I think it's called Katie's or something like that. I don't remember. Secluded corner or something like that. But that's where we're going to be going, because that's where the bow is at. So once you come over here, keep going up. You'll see this little open section here. Go up. Turn over here. And yep, Katie's secluded corner. So I was correct, because I used to call it Heidi's. For some reason I got it incorrect. And once you come over here, walk a little bit more to this section here, and right here you'll find the backpack. And here we go. You'll find the backpack and your bow. Now, for the purpose of this video, I'm playing this on Pilgrim mode, just to get easy, for me to make it easy to the areas, basically. I don't have to like be dealing with a lot of stuff, basically, to make it faster for you guys. So if you come up here, you will not probably find all of this stuff that's here. You might probably find maybe a can of food or something, but it's not a guaranteed thing. However, what you might probably find, that you will find, is going to be the backpack and the bow. If you get lucky, you might find the backpack, the bow, and maybe the arrow. But like I said, if you get this, this is where it's at. And then you always want to check this deer that's dead over here, because he will have basically the broken arrow, that you need, basically. If it doesn't have it, then at least you're going to have one. But if you don't have no arrows at all whatsoever, then don't worry about it, because at least you have the bow now, But check that. And that's basically where the bow is located at. So now let's go ahead and move to the next section, which is going to be showing you where basically the rifle will spawn on and the revolver. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. And let's go ahead and go over there right now. Alright, so we are at the first location where there could be a spawn of the rifle and the revolver. This is the Hiberia factory, basically the whale factory. It's different when you go out there. It's called Hiberia. When you go inside, it's called the whale factory. Regardless, it's the factory. So when you come over here, basically, this is going to be a place where you have a chance of finding, like I said, both of the weapons. To get here is very easy. Like I said, this area is very small. You cannot get lost. We started from over there. You can see there's the boat. There's the lighthouse. We went all the way over there with Heidi's. See, I keep calling it Heidi's. Katie's Corner was set. If from Katie's Corner, once you get the boat and you head back down, you'll see the lighthouse. Once you see the lighthouse, make it to the lighthouse. And when you make it to the lighthouse up there and get whatever you need up there, you're going to see the boat. Make your way down. Make your way this way. Here's the factory. All right, so we're going to be heading inside basically and showing you basically where the two things basically would spawn at. You know, like I said, they're not a guarantee, but let's go ahead and check, okay, really quick. So let's go ahead and do that. So when you walk over here, like I said, there's a lot of things you can check here. Check for everything here, basically. All items and stuff like that. Try to check all the areas before if you want to make your way in here before that. But yeah, like I said, be aware of wolves. Be aware of anything that might be around. So here are lockers. Don't forget those. Let's go inside. All right, so here you enter. There could be 3 spots where things could spawn. And I will show you the first one. So if you go this way, you see this area here. You walk over here. Walk down this way. There might be a chance here. There might be a revolver. Nothing. Or maybe the rifle. But I think most times I found here is a revolver. So you make your way up here. There'll be a dead body right over here. And yeah, there's no revolver. Usually there's a revolver here. But there's none here. So that means we have more chances of probably being down there. So now what we're going to do, since we already checked there, the first one, nothing there. We're going to come down over here. If you came from up there, you make your way down here. You're going to come this way. Those 2 crates is where we want to go. If you came down from the other section right here, you're going to come down from these steps down this way, basically. And check all this whole area here too as well. Everything, there's a chest over here too as well. I think it's at the end of that section right there. Let's find really quick the mallet, because we're going to need it. And once you make yourself in here, like I said, 2 crates are right over here. We're going to break this because the chances of the rifle could be back here too as well. Maybe a revolver or a rifle. Let's check real quick. So this is the second spot where you might spawn at. Let's go ahead and break that. Let's go ahead and break this. And remember to always have your some kind of light source ready with you. All right, so let's go ahead and get a light. We're going to get the torch, light it. And let's check back here. Okay, no rifle. See, and this is even in pilgrim mode. We haven't found anything like that. So let's go to, so that's number 1. Number 2. Let's go to number 3. Number 3 will be over here, under this pipe. Crouch down. There's items already here you can take with you back. Up in the top too as well. Always check these. And over here. Aha, see? Revolver right there.
Never know.
You even got 2 bullets. And stuff like that. But like I said, when you're playing Stalker mode, since that's what we're going to be focusing on, you might not even find bullets. So you might just find the revolver and maybe 1 bullet. But these are the sections too as well. So right here might be a revolver, might be a rifle, depending. Okay? So that's 1, 2, 3. We did not find the rifle in any of those things, but we did find the revolver. Now let's check. You might want, like I said, always check this whole area around here because you never know. And always make a habit of checking underneath because there's things that are underneath. Always carry a light source. Check everything because you never know. Okay? So once you check all of this and we did not find the rifle, let's go back. And check these walls, like I said, because you'll find things too as well. The safe is right here. But let's go check the 4th one. Spawn that I seen it. Now this section when I found it at before, this was new to me. I had never had found this in Stalker mode. And one time I found it and I was like very surprised that I actually found it there. So if you come up here, you turn right over here. I found it underneath one of these beds right here one time. And I was very surprised that I actually found it underneath the bed. But as you can see, I don't see it there, and I don't think it's there. But you want to check this little section too as well, just in case. But you'll see it underneath there. If you do happen to be here and you check, you might end up seeing it right there. It might be underneath there. But like I said, that's what you want to check. I haven't seen any other sections here where it might spawn at. These are the only ones that I know of that I seen it spawn and stuff like that. But like I said, you always want to make a habit of checking everything because you never know. We're going to make one last loop around. We're going to make one last loop around to check. Just to be sure. Back over here. Because I've been told by a fellow friend of mine that plays the Long Dark that sometimes it might spawn back here. However, I don't see it. Usually it's in that little corner over there that he said that he has found it at times, but I never found it there, so I'm not going to say that that's a guarantee there for you to check. But like I said, you always want to make a habit of checking to be sure that you didn't miss anything or anything like that. There's ammo right there. This is the reason why I tell you to check everything, just to be sure. Okay, so no rifle here at all. Okay, but these are the only sections where the rifle was spawned at. In this area here, now we're going to move to the next section that I'm going to show you where there is another spawn for the rifle. If you do go in this section, be very careful. Be sure you have a weapon. Since I'm playing in Pilgrim mode, I don't have to worry about going in there with a weapon because the wolf that's in there will run away from you. So let's go ahead and go to that section, and I'll meet you guys there, okay? Alright, so our next spawn session, we have arrived. So this is another place you could have a chance of basically finding the rifle too as well. We're going to go ahead and check it. Like I said again, I am playing in Pilgrim mode to go by these areas real quick. If you are playing Stalker mode and you're going to go in this cave that I'm going to go into right now, at least try to have either your bow, you're able to fight back, or at least the revolver. But if you have no weapons whatsoever in here, you might want to be, if you're going to still go in there and take a chance, you might want to be very alert or be ready for a fight, or have at least a knife to defend yourself if you're going to let the wolf attack you, though. But because there is a wolf in this cave. I'm not sure if Pilgrim mode, the wolf is in there, but I'm pretty sure in Stalker mode there will be. But let's go ahead and go in there and find the rifle real quick to show you where it's at. So the cave will be right here. You're going to be under the broken bridge. You're going to come from the basically factory we just came from. You're going to just come back the other way. You'll see the bridge. You can see it in the distance. It's broken. Go underneath that bridge. Once you go underneath the bridge, you come to the waterfall. Cave is right over here. So we're going to go inside. Once you're in here, be sure you have some type of light source with you. I'm going to turn our flare. And there's 2 turns in this area you could go into. We're going to check both, but the rifle should be here. In one of these turns, if it's spawned, basically. But like I said, the wolf usually is here. As you can see, there's a dead deer right there. Bones. Wolf could be in there. So there's 2 turns. You can either go that way or this way. Usually what I have found it has been this way, so let's go ahead over here. So remember, you came from over there. Came over here, dead deer. There is only 2 entrances. That is a dead end. So right here. So you want to go this way. Once you head up here, walk up here. And if we do find it, it should be over here. And yeah, there it is. See? Now we have a rifle. So here, like I said, you might either find the rifle with 1 round, or you might just find the rifle, or you might find just the backpack and the rifle, depending on what you find here. But basically, this is where it's at. And down here, it's just going to be the section where we came from, basically. You have your 2 cartridges over here, but like I said, you're not going to be guaranteed you're going to find 3 cartridges right there. It's completely different depending on how you stalker mode from this. Let me go ahead and just equip these real boots because I really don't like the shoes I'm wearing. Okay, but yeah, this is one of the sections. And once you're in the cave and you have killed the wolf, or you don't have the wolf here anymore, you can explore as much as you want and make your way back out. Now we're going to move to the next section where the rifle could spawn to as well, or the revolver, and that's going to be the stone church, right? So I'm going to show you guys that real quick. So yeah, let's go ahead and go that way, okay? All right, so we have arrived to another spawn location that you might be able to find either the revolver or the rifle. I'm going to show you real quick. It's a stone church. It's going to be to my right over here. And yeah, you get here by basically taking, once you get out of the cave, you just make your way back up, basically to the road, follow it, you'll hit this bridge. Always be alert when you walk down this area because there will be wolves, and there is a bear that always spawns here. And you can actually hear him in the background, but since I'm playing in Pilgrim mode, he just runs away from me. But like I said, if you're playing Stalker, you always want to be aware of that. The wolves and the bears will be here. Always be cautious. Always be on guard. Listen to your surroundings. Look at the footprints in the snow because you'll see them. See, this is the bear footprints right here. So he is right over here. He's just running around like crazy. But let's go ahead and show you the stone church, all right? So stone church is right over here. Bear is right there, as you can see him. But he just runs away from you because, like I said, we're playing Pilgrim. Trying to get away, trying to get through this fast. You're playing Stalker, though. He's not going to run away from you. He's going to attack you. So stone church will be up here. Make your way up. You walk in here. And then Stalker mode that I have seen the bedroll here. But like I said, it's not always a guarantee that you'll find a bedroll here. But there could be a bedroll here. The bear will always be here for you to survive. There's ammunition. You'll find probably 1 bullet, maybe 2. But yeah, all this stuff should be here. There's been times that in Stalker that I have found an actual ammunition box. So just be aware of everything you check here. But if there is a rifle here or a revolver, let's see. It should be in this area. Basically, that's what I'm trying to say. Let's see if it's here. Nope, I don't see it. I only see medical supplies, and if the revolver would have been here, would have been like right over here, this area. Or sometimes it could be under the benches. So like I said, that's where you want to make a habit of checking everything underneath. Yep, here's a box. And just double check it just to be sure. No revolver whatsoever, okay? So yeah, there's no revolver spawn over here. So like I said, you know, if you happen to come to all these areas and let's say you didn't find something, which I'm pretty sure you should be able to find at least 1 weapon. But if by any chance you had the bad luck of not finding anything, don't worry, because when you move to the next region, you have more chances of finding there too as well. But now that these are all the locations that I know, that I'm aware of, that you can find basically all the weapons you can find out. Like I said, when you come to Desolation Point, when you're here, you want to check everything. You want to get as much as you can, get everything you can, check everything you need. Don't go to dangerous areas that you're not ready for, like, you know, like at the cave, for example. If you don't have a weapon to fight there at all, I wouldn't recommend you going in there because you could die, basically, and that ends your run, especially if you're playing Stalker mode. If you have a knife and you're willing to take the chance to take on the wolf, basically, have him attack you, if you're going to do that, be sure you have enough bandages, antiseptic for the infections, painkillers or anything like that to be able to like heal yourself once you get attacked. But like I said, it's not a risk that I would take, you know, because like I said, you know, you don't want to end up dying, you know. But these are the sections that I show you where everything will be at, basically weapon wise and stuff like that. But like I said, when you hit the lighthouse, check the lighthouse. You hit the boat, check the boat. The factory, check the factory. The stone church, check the church. down more this way is going to be your mine sections. There's 2 mines. There's one down over here. I think you can barely see it from over here, but it's down there. And that mine, when you go in there, it doesn't lead you to a new region when you enter it. It's going to lead you out the other way. And if you take it back the way you came, it's going to lead you back out this way. So it does not lead you to a new section, though. But you want to check everything. Like I said, everything will have stuff right here. But this is the reasons why I like to start here, because of those spawns of the weapons and stuff like that. You'll guarantee a bow, a hunter bow is what I meant to say, and you have a lot of things you can take back with you. Okay, so right now, let me show you. See if I can show you really quick where the mine entrance is for you to make it to Coastal Highway, to go back to Coastal Highway, to start your journey back. So if you walk down this way, basically, the first mine entrance will be right here. You could take it if you want. It's like right there. You can barely see it. Yeah, it's right there. You could take it, and that will lead you out like a more shorter cut that way. And every time you play this game, if you're going to go explore a mine or dark section, be sure you have enough matches or torches or flares for you to be able to see in there. The way you can make really extra, torches and stuff like that is when you make a fire, and you make it for like 3 or 4 hours or whatever, take a few torches from it as well, because you can. You'll harvest these if you see them here. But anyways, once you pass that, you can go to the top, make your way down this way. This is going to take us back from when we started, where basically Katie's Corner was at and the road. So once you make it down this way, you'll get basically to this area. You could take the road down this way and follow it, or you could go this way. I prefer probably taking it this way because it's more safer, and it will keep you away from the wolves and stuff like that. So because the wolves usually like to hang around near the road area, so this will probably be the safest way. Once you make it over here, see, I passed it already. See, so once you make it over here, don't go like I did. You come down, you're gonna see the kind of shopping car, or whatever this is, lumber car, or whatever the heck this is. You're gonna see that. Once you see that, there's the broken trees over here, whatever this is, and it's right over here on the top. And once you do that, make it over here. Stick to your left. There's nothing over there. You could go check if you want. There's a lot of old man's beer over here, which I will get because you could use for dressings, to bandages basically. I would definitely pick them up. But yeah, just keep going this way. And then once you make it over here, there is your entrance for the mine shaft. Is going to take you to basically Coastal Highway, which is going to be where we're going to be making our base, basically. Where I choose my base, basically. If you see in the distance over there, that's what Katie's Corner was at over there. So what I'm just going to do was move towards Coastal Highway right now. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the intersection, because once you leave this mine section, you don't automatically appear in Coastal Highway. You appear in a little small section. Once you pass the small section, it will take you to Coastal Highway, basically. But I'll show you the little section so that way you'll be aware and how to get past that area without any issues there, because there is about 2 or 3 wolves that will appear there, depending. If you get lucky, you might probably get one, but I will just show you real quick that little section, okay? So let's go ahead and go there right now real quick. All right. So now we are at once you enter the mine to make your way to Coastal Highway, and you exit the mine, like I mentioned, you're not gonna be at Coastal Highway. It's gonna lead you to Crumbling Highway, which is going to be a connection between the two. And if you follow this, it will take you to Coastal Highway. It's a small little region. You can get lost here as well, but there is wolves, so you want to be alert. I'm going to show you basically where everything is at right over here. There is a little section you might want to check here. A lot of people miss it because a lot of the houses here are destroyed. But there is a basement you can find, and you'll find clothes down there. So let's go ahead and go, and I'm going to show you real quick. So once you exit there, you come this way. Like I said, if you want to gather supplies here, you can too as well. If you see any type of things to make teas, or like the old man's beer or anything like that for heating, take that with you. But like I said, you gotta watch your weight. You don't want to be too much of a burden, and you gotta make choices between what will be useful for you and what will not be useful for you. You know. So always make those choices and stuff like that. What you want to take. Right here is going to be the road. You can follow it if you want, but I would probably steer clear of the road because, like I said, wolves like to hang around the roads. So be really careful. So once you get to the truck around here, I will usually come this way. Old Man's Beer right there. You can pick it up. Walk over here. And every time you're playing, you always want to be alert. Your ears open and stuff like that. Check around just to be sure, because this is how you're going to avoid yourself issues. I don't know if that actual thing is here in Stalker, but you could check because you'll see it if it is there. But even if you do see it, it's not guaranteed there's going to be something there. So just follow the corners right here like this. Stay away from the roads. There is a cave right here you could shelter. If by any chance you get caught in the storm, anything like that. The cool thing about caves is if you keep going in, if you notice there right there, look at the cold meter right there on the bottom. You see how it's going down now? If you go all the way to the back right here, it goes up. So that means you're taking warmth. So if you're going to stay the night here because there's a storm going on, you might want to do it all the way in the back and put your bed right here. And have at least some firewood ready, just in case it does drop cold or anything, but you should be okay right here. But anyways, there's a cave here. Let's keep going. I like to stay to the edge because, like I said, if I see a wolf, I'm seeing them from over there. In Stalker mode, they can be very sneaky, so you always want to be alert. Right here, you come to a section you can go into. This is going to lead you to the houses I was talking to you about, and they all should be destroyed. There should be a card to as well here as well. There it is. But like I said, here you want to be careful because there is wolves here. And you see the house right here? Check them. There's a house that will have basically a basement. So you open that, and you go down there, and you collect everything that you need down here because you have chances of maybe finding some really good clothes or maybe something you can take back with you. Because there is a dryer. See? You can get all of that there if you need to. You didn't have anything, but like I said, this is the reasons why you want to check this area because you'll find things here you might need. So remember, that basement is here, and also if you are already taking a lot of cold or your character is at the risk of hypothermia or there's a storm going on or something, and you happen to get caught in a storm over here, remember that basement is right there. There's a car. Once you explore all of this here, and you're good to go, keep walking. Wolves usually like to kick it over there. I haven't seen one, but it doesn't mean that they're not there. Stick to the corner. And you go underneath here.
I'm getting tired.
Keep following it. And there you go, leaving Crumbling Highway. And now once you leave Crumbling Highway, you're going to be taken into Coastal Highway. So welcome to Coastal Highway. This is the region we're going to be making our home at. And from right here, whole new different region. Explore as much as you need to once, but first make it to your base safe, basically, and then you can explore. You know, you're going to probably be carrying a lot, maybe a little, depending on what you're carrying. Make the choices properly because, like I said, this area has a lot of wolves, and it has a bear and a moose, I believe, here too as well. So you want to be sure that you have enough. You're not overburdened where you can't run away from danger, basically, stuff like that. But this is basically the next region we're going to focus on, and there's not much to say. I'm not going to get into much detail. I'm going to try not to get into much detail about this region if I can, but like I said, if you didn't find anything over there back, as such as your revolver or your rifle, you just were just that unlucky you didn't find it, you come to this region here and you'll have more chances of finding it. And I will show you the locations here on Coastal Highway where you can find the revolver and the rifle. Okay, so let's go ahead and yeah, let's jump into Coastal Highway and I'll show you the locations, stuff like that, and go on from there basically. Okay. All right, so welcome to Coastal Townside. This is in Coastal Highway. This I wanted to show you because this is basically my home base. This is where I like to make my home base and stuff like that. This is where I basically stay basically and survive my days basically in my file basically. I think it's a good area to basically survive at. It's called like garage something like that, but I call it the gas station because it kind of reminds me of a gas station for some reason. I'm not really sure why. But yeah, this is the area. Like I said, if you're going to stay here, it is a great area, but you have to be aware of the dangers. There's a lot of wolves and there is a lot of bears over here. There's, I believe, a bear or a moose that will spawn here, or maybe both at the same time. And the bear will patrol down from that area, walk all the way over here, or he'll walk down the road. He'll go all the way over there, and then he'll come back. Same thing with the moose. The moose will usually stay in that area. And you have a lot of bears that basically, wolves that will spawn and walk around this area. But if at this point you have the bow and good weapons, you could take care of the wolves easily, basically. No problem. So this area provides a lot of sections where you could actually have a chance of finding the rifle and any type of weapons, because rifle or even the revolver here too as well. I don't know all the regions, the regions, I'm sorry, I keep saying regions, I don't know why. I don't know the whole areas where it is spawned at. I'm only going to show you the ones that I know that I have found the rifle at. So let's go ahead and take you to the first one, which is going to be down one of the fishing huts is right over here. So if we turn down this way, over here, up over here, this way, there is a fishing hut that usually has some. I believe there's one or two, but if I remember correct, the only ones that I have found it's going to be that one at the end over there. And the other locations, actually, you can kind of see them from here, but which I would take it to. But the first one, we're going to focus on that one to see how many chances there. But if not, if you see, like right here, where this house is at, there's two little mountains, they're houses. These two sections here have a chance of having the rifle. I believe not this one, but you might have a chance. I believe it's this one, Jackrabbit Island, where you have the more chances of finding it right there. If you look down this way, all the way over there, it's kind of hitting in the trees. But there's a watchtower up there. You can kind of see it in the red over there. It's like a little red section that has a chance to have the rifle there too as well. And I believe if another fishing hut like this asset is going to be the one over there. There is another section down that way through the mountains where there could be another like spawn for the rifle too as well. But let's go ahead and check over here really quick. And I'm showing this way so I can show you where I start from in case you start from Coastal Highway, you're new to the region, you basically are brand new to this and you don't know the area around. That's the way you come this way. If you are playing Stalker, like I said, this is not going to be like you see here. It's going to be wolves. You want to be very aware of that. Always alert, like I tell you, just be careful every time you go out. Take whatever you need necessary to be able to survive, because you never know. The weather could be harsh and change. So if we have a chance to have the rifle, it will be in here. And no, there's no rifle or revolver. So you only find the cleaning kit, and that's about it. What's behind the cleaning kit? I think that's about it. Let's check these things just to see if any chance the revolver's not there. I doubt it, because usually I believe any type of gun will be out in the open. Yep. Okay. But as you can see, nothing here. So now we're going to focus on the two islands right over here. I think I'm going to go to that one, Jackrabbit Island, and we're going to go check if any chance we see the rifle spawn there. All right, so we are at Jackrabbit Island. We were down there, little hut over there. Made it all the way over here. Let's go inside, and I'm gonna show you where it could be at. It's weird where it spawns at. Sometimes it could be behind like a dresser, or it could be under a bed. But we'll see where we can find it out over here, because it's like I said, it's not always a guarantee. But if it is, I believe those are the sections it will be at. Let's go inside here real quick. I stumbled with words, and I apologize because this is the first time that I'm making actual like a actual guide to show you guys, about a game and stuff like that. So if you hear me mumble with words and stuff like that, you have my apologies. Usually there's a flare down here, and I don't see one. So let's go ahead and go check where the rifle will be at. So there should be a Okay, so it was the other island then. Okay, so but let's check this one because you never know. So there, here, nothing here, nothing here. And I believe both islands do spawn a rifle, if I remember correct, but I think it's the other one. But if I remember finding one here, it's under the bed. Because I believe I have found here the revolver once. And I believe the revolver was under the bed when I found it. So yeah, so no revolver in hero weapons. But like I said, you always want to check the whole areas here too as well. Because if I remember correct, maybe it's just been my luck, I have found a revolver there. But I think the island will be, the rifle is going to be down this over here. This is the spawn section I was talking about. But I know that here I have found a revolver before. Let's go here real quick, since it's not that far away from the area. Like I said, this area provides a lot of things in case you don't have ammunition. Like you see the rabbits here, you have rocks around. You can use the rocks and take them out at that. In case you don't have any ammunition with you and you're trying to get some food. If you have snare traps, you could also set them here. But this is what I like about this area. You have a lot of hunting, a lot of fishing. You could survive a little bit more better here. So let's check this house right here, and this should be the 2-story house. And we're going to see by any chance the rifles here, because it does. I know there is one that spawns here. There it is. I see the flare. Let me see if there's a lantern here really quick. Usually there's always a lantern in the kitchen, but I haven't seen one. Yep, no lantern over here. Okay, so then what we're going to do is let's grab a flare. We have 2. Light this up. And let's check if our rifle's up here. Not there, not here, not there. We're going to duck down over here. There, not here, not in that region there, not in this section, not there, not back there. Oh, let's check over here. Not there, not here, Not here, not here. Check under the bed. And nope. Usually I have found it here, or here, or under the bed. So we have no spawn here whatsoever of the rifle. I believe there's been times where I have found it out here too as well, but I don't know if that was a Stalker file or Voyager, but I remember. So yep, no rifle here. Just double checking over here just to be sure. Yep, and nothing over here. So, no spawn here. Don't worry. We're gonna check the next one, which is going to be. Let's take you to to the um, to the watchtower and see if we can find the rifle up there. Okay. So let's go ahead and go to let's start heading to that section basically right now. All right. So let's go and check the next location, which is the watchtower. I was not gonna show you these. I was actually gonna go to the location by itself, basically. Start a new file. Was gonna be at the location, but I mean, I feel like a lot of people don't know how to get to this watchtower because it's kind of confusing. There's different paths you could get to it. So I'm gonna just show you real quick how to get to it, so that way you guys know exactly what road to take and stuff like that. Uh, Whichever road you take, always be alert. Like I said, you always want to be aware and alert. But I'm gonna show you the way that I take it, basically and stuff like that. But you always want to be uh, ready for anything, basically and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and head that way right now. I feel like me being there will be easier just to show you that, but I feel like there are people that should know that already. If you played Alone Dark already and you've been in Coastal Highway, a lot of people know how to get there to the towers very easily. You can see it in the distance, but I mean, there's different ways you could get to it. And I feel like a lot of people don't know that. Like people that are new to play with Coastal Highway, maybe they're like playing in Mystery Lake or Timberwolf Mountain or whatever it is. That's their favorite region, and they don't really come to Coastal Highway unless they need to, stuff like that, or they do come to Coastal Highway but not explore it completely. They don't know the region and stuff like that. I feel like this will be more faster for me just to show you how to get there. So you can see if you come up here, there's two ways you could take it. You could go that way or you could go this way. If you, like I said, if you're gonna go anywhere of these, you want to be alert because, like you saw, there's a bear here. There's a bear den, actually down this way. The bear den is like right there. There's the cave. So if you do come the way that I'm going, be very cautious, and be always be like careful. Um, Wolves there's a lot of wolves here as well, so you always want to be alert. So make it this way, and you see there's a wolf right there. Once you make it over here, like I said, see, there's many paths you could take, and anybody could get lost really easily. So if you go down that way, you're gonna hit a different region. You can still probably get up there, but you have to make a whole loop around. So once you get there, just go up here this way. There's a lot of things that you want to do when you're making when you make a guide like this, because you want to talk about everything, but you really can't because you don't want to be you don't want the video to be too long basically. And I do apologize if the video does end up becoming long, but I kind of like want to show you guys and stuff like that because a lot of videos that I see, you know, they do show you the regions and everything like that you need to do and stuff like that, which is great. But a lot of times, a lot of people that are starting that or doing that, they don't know how to get to these sections. They'll be like, they'll show you something where it says like, yeah, if you take this path, you go down this way. Show you a map or anything like that. And yeah, but in game, you really don't know how to get there. And if you're new to the region, you don't know the region. You know where it's at. You could get to it because you're watching the video. But a lot of people don't actually show you how to get there. And that's what I think I wanted to show this one, because I believe getting to this watchtower is a little bit confusing because you could take many paths and stuff like that. So I wanted to just show you how to get to this one. That way, it's more easier for you to get to it. and you don't have to be struggling. Um, Coastal Highway, I would say it is a big region, but I feel it's hard for you to get lost because if you get lost by any chance, you can still see the road down there. If you go to any high section, you'll see the lake and the road down there, so you could make yourself back down to the area where you need to be at. Basically, that's what I feel like, But you could get lost. It could be a little bit complicated for new players and stuff like that. But as long as you find a road or stuff like that, which or something that you feel you known before or you've been there before, you shouldn't be able to get lost. Like I said, Coastal Highway, like you'll be able to see the lake from far away. If you're in the high area, you see the lake and you see the road. So once you follow this road, you came up there. You can follow this road. You keep following down this way. And to our left should be the entrance to the watchtower up here. And this is another spawn section for the rifle or the revolver. Also, forgot to mention the gas station, which you're going to check regardless because it's going to be your home. You have a chance of finding probably maybe a revolver in there or a weapon. I'm not really sure. I don't remember ever finding anything in there, but you might have a chance to maybe find something like that. So that could be a possibility. We come over here. And here's the watchtower. Abandoned lookout, but just like on the watchtower. Get up here. And let's see if the rifle's here. Rifle or revolver, could be both. So open this. And let's check and see. Is it here? No, it's not. Usually it's hanging right here. If a revolver's here, you'll see it too as well. See, there's a cartridge run right there. Rope. All this kind of stuff. All these goodies. You can actually grab this rope if you want and take it with you. And you could actually, if you don't want to go back to where you came, basically, and stuff like that, you could actually just grab the rope, take it with you, go back down here. I think it's right over here. Yep, you could deploy it down. If you find the rope, which I don't think you will in Stalker mode. It's kind of rare. But if you find it, that's your weight you're sending down so you can make it shorter for you. Okay, but yeah, that's one location right here. We didn't find it. Let's move to the next location, okay? Alright, so now we're going to go to our next location where our rifle could spawn. We moved away from the gas station, so to get to this location, you just follow the road, basically. If you do follow the road to come to where I'm at, basically, you want to just be alert and stay away as much as you can to your corners, basically, to the end right here. Because, like I said, wolves are around. If you're carrying any type of meat or anything like that, anything that might attract them, they will come to you. So that's what I'm saying. If you follow the road, which you're going to have to get to this area unless you take a different path. If you follow this road down over here, just be alert, stay aware, and just watch to see by any chance they don't come anywhere, because it can be very sneaky. So once you get here, you will see this bridge, and you will see this area. Be aware here too as well. There is a bear that will spawn. He either will come down from over there, down this way, or he will come up from the bridge at times. There's two paths you could take. You get to go down this way, or you could go down that way. If you get caught in a blizzard right here while you're exploring this to get to the rifle, stuff like that, don't worry, because once you go in here, let me show you. You start walking over here. We're gonna go this way. If you need food and you're like in need of food, or you need cattails, the whole little bridge here, area here underneath, the whole frozen river down there has cattails. So you can collect all the cattails you need right there. Like I said, just beware of the bear or the wolves that are in this area. So once you walk over here, and let's say you do get caught in the blizzard, or the storm gets bad, or you need a place to rest, or anything like that, just keep going this way. You're eventually gonna hit a house here. There should be a house here in this area. Unless I took the wrong path. Okay, so we took the wrong path. That means that the house is up here. So if you follow that, road how I did, come around this way. You're gonna head over here. You're gonna see no house basically because I came around the wrong way. So follow here and just go up here because the house should be over here. Because I came the wrong way. Should be a house around this section over here. This is crazy. I always get confused because there's 2 areas you could go into, and I came the wrong way. So yeah, if you come up the mountain, come up here, the house is right over there. So it should have been the next entrance over there where you come up, and there's a house that way basically. So if by any chance you did take the wrong turn like I did, you know that I showed you the wrong turn basically. But if you take that wrong turn like I did, don't worry, just follow the road. Once you get to the top up there, make your way up the hill right here, and you'll find the house up there. But in case that doesn't work, you know, if you like don't want to make your way up there, because you know this is the path we took right there, you're fine. Keep following this path right here, and once you get over here where we're at, just follow the end of the road right here. There should be another house around this section here that you can use to spend the night at. Let me see if I didn't pass it, because it should be over here somewhere. I think it's more over here. So just stick to the river if you're collecting the cattails, because there's a few cattails here you can collect. Once you do that, keep walking. And the house should be over here. Bear Creek Campground. It should be over here. I think it's coming up. It should be around this section over here. But this path basically we're following right here to basically eventually hit this house that I'm talking about. Hopefully it's here. It's the same path you're going to take to get to the next spawn for the rifle too as well. So basically you're following the right way regardless. Huh. Then if I don't, then it must probably be more back there then. But in case you have the other house, in case we don't see this one over here. So just keep following this. You see that waterfall over there. That's where we want to be heading to. Because this will be the next section when I found rifle. And if you don't find the rifle there, you'll find ammunition. So either one of the two could spawn there. I'm very surprised the house is not here. I wonder if they removed it. Because I remember there being a house in the corner there. Maybe it was more back there. But yeah, here's the body. Usually, like I said, this guy will have either the rifle or the ammunition. You see, the rifle ammunition is right over here. But he'll have either of the two right here. So you always want to check that. And then, you know, once you're here, you get this. If you're trying to make your way to the another Crumbling Highway, the I forgot what it's called. This region right here, the railroad area where it connects you to Mystery Lake. This is the right path to take basically. If you're heading this way, if you're making your way to Mystery Lake, the path that I take coming down this way, up this way, will also lead you to Mystery Lake if you're trying to go that way. So once you grab that, you can come this way. Head up here. And once you're up here, that tunnel there will take you to the connection regions to Mystery Lake. So once you go in there, It'll take you to this area where you have to cross a bridge. You keep going, you follow that down. There's another region that there's another section down there that you could climb down the rope, down this ravine or river path or something on there where you could actually go down and investigate and get items on there. I believe there's also a flare gun on there if you have a rope and make it down there. But like I said, anything that has to include with you climbing down and up, it's going to take a lot of stamina. So if you do decide to do that, be sure to take at least a stim shot with you or two, or be sure to take enough food with you and water and firewood to be able to survive the night in case you have to be down there or you can't make it back up, basically. But that will connect to that. If you follow back this way, you'll lead basically back to another area where there's like a little trailer hidden in the trees over here by the log area right there. And then if you follow all the way back down, it'll take you back to Coastal Highway. So basically, these are the sections that I know where to, what I have found basically the rifle and ammunition and stuff like that to help you out in your stalker journey. Basically, I will be linking a map here so you can see it, and it will show you all the locations of everything where it spawns at, supposedly, and stuff like that, where there have been spawns of the rifle or ammunition. We'll show you bears and all that kind of stuff like that, but I will put it here so you guys can see it. But that's basically the two regions that we already focused on, which was Desolation Point and everything that leads to Desolation Point all the way to Coastal Highway. So we covered the regions. The next thing we're going to move into is going to be, we're going to try to move more basically to survival and what you guys need to do and stuff like that, to be aware of and things like that. So let's go ahead and do that, okay? All right, so let's move to the next section of the guide, which is going to be focusing on survival, basically. So we're going to move to the first step of survival, which is going to be traveling and equipment. So basically, what we're going to be focusing on this one is what you need to take with you when you go out. Going out, which means either you're going to go explore, gather resources, or hunt. The things you basically need to take with you to help you through your journey, basically at that. So I have gathered basically a few things here that I put down to show you guys basically what I take with me when I head out and go do whatever I'm doing, whether it's, like I said, hunting, or I'm going to go gather supplies in a new region, or I'm going to just be traveling, or whatever I'm doing. This is what I take with me, basically. And again, this is what I take, the things that I feel are necessary for me to go out there and survive, basically, at that. There are many different things you could take depending on your play style, what you feel is necessary and stuff like that. A lot of people play different. They take things that, less things or more things depending on how far they're going and stuff like that, But it could change differently. Like I say, once you start playing, you start becoming more comfortable with Stalker. You could take whatever you want. The point here is you don't basically want to overburden yourself or basically walking like very sluggish and stuff like that, because like I said, you want to avoid this in case you get chased by a wolf, or a bear or a moose. You don't want to. You want to be able to have mobility, basically, and stuff like that. It's not always going to happen because on your way back you're going to be carrying a lot, and this is what I was talking about before, when I mentioned that you have to make decisions on what is necessary for you to bring back and what you can leave behind. Example for me, basically, when I go somewhere and I find items that are like 29%, or 15% or 20%, I don't bring them back with me, with such as food, things like that. I try to use them there and there if I can, with caution, basically, or any kind of item that I feel, I can leave behind and stuff like that. That's where I make my choices, and that's what you guys should do too as well. Look at your inventory, see what you're carrying and stuff like that, because you don't want to be in a situation, where you're carrying too much and you encounter a bear, stuff like that, or a wolf, and you can't really run away. But anyways, this is what I take. And like I said, check it out. I'm gonna show you right now real quick. So if we move over here, these are my necessities that I take with me. So first, let's start with the medical stuff that I take with me. So every time that I go out, I always take my antiseptic for infections, anything like that, open wounds. I take this with me. We have our painkillers, our antibiotics. I always take a stim with me in case anything happens, bandages and stuff like that. And the other thing you could take with you is going to be the Omen's beer dressing, basically, which is going to be like a bandage you can make out of the old beers. The old beers. I'm sorry. The what do you call it? The men's dressing. It's right over here. What the hell is it called? Uh, this one, the Omen's beer lynch. If you have these basically with you and you bring them with you, you can make bandages out of that. That in case you don't have antiseptic and you make that bandage, it could treat basically cuts that are going to get infected. Basically, this will prevent it. Basically, that the bandage, in case you don't have that, but you always want to bring that with you. If you have reishi mushrooms and you find anything like this, reishi or the rose hip, basically stuff like that, you want to collect this stuff because it's good medical stuff. In case you happen to run out on antibiotics, you can make teas out of this to help you with food poisoning or anything like that. Any kind of illness, you'll tell you what you can use. You want to pick this stuff up. If you can make these with you, you can take them with you as well. In case you don't have these, you could take the teas with you to treat it better too as well. But if you see this, you want to pick them up too as well. But this is a good thing to have. Um, and then we're going to move also. I'll also bring also a sewing kit. I almost forgot to say this. You don't have to bring it because you can find probably other sewing kits around the area where you go to explore. But I always bring it with me in case my clothes is take some damage or anything like that. I bring this with me to try to fix that in case I need to. But it's not a necessity. But like I said, you'll find some around, but you don't have to bring it basically. The next thing is going to be weapons. So weapons with me, I always bring my bow, and depending on my weight or how much I'm carrying, I usually bring all my arrows, which would be like about 4, maybe 5 arrows. But if I feel like I don't need that many arrows, or anything like that, I bring like about maybe 3 arrows. But you want to do that, bring your bow, at least 3 arrows if you want to, your rifle, your revolver, and your 2 weapons, your hatchet and your knife, basically, because this is stuff that you're going to need basically when you're going out. The rifle right here, I always bring at least 5 rounds with me, in case I need it for hunting, or in case I have a last resource, I need to defend myself basically from a wolf or a bear or whatever. This is what I bring. Revolver too as well. I bring it with 5 rounds too as well in case of anything. You always want to make sure that your weapons are basically set in good condition when you take them out, because if you don't, you will encounter issues. But this is what I bring basically like that. The bow, what I use the most basically when I'm killing wolves and stuff like that, is the bow. The bow, like, I become basically a very good basically at knowing when to shoot the wolf and when to kill it and how to like go about it basically. And this is basically what I use to conserve ammo. Basically, if I don't want to be wasting all my shots, I want to save them for something else. Then I use my bow basically. But usually that's always what I use for a wolf attack and stuff like that. It's not always something that's going to be like what do you call it? That's going to like what do you call it? Like how I'm trying to explain this. Like it's not something that it was going to work like always, depending on the situation, what's going on. If you're cold or whatever's going on, or your arrows break, you could run out of things and not real quick, and you might find yourself in a bad situation. But the bow is something that I would suggest you using if you know how to use it good. If you don't know how to use it good, you should still bring it with you. But the rifle, that's why you bring these extra weapons. In case you don't feel comfortable with the bow, you can use basically your hunting rifle or your revolver. But I bring this with me because I feel more comfortable with that, and I know I can use it. But I would suggest you guys learn it. It's a little bit more. Once you learn it, it's really easy, basically. And like I said, repeating before what I said, you're conserving ammo. You could save it. There's been situations where I'm good at it, but I'm not good at hunting with it yet. I'm still basically learning. If you shoot basically a deer that's far away and you don't aim that shot correctly, where you can shoot them and kill them instantly, the deer is going to take off with your arrow and run around, and you have to chase them. And the deer sometimes takes forever, basically, for them to die, and they run really fast. So you basically have to chase after them to go retrieve your basically your arrow and also the meat too as well. So this could bring issues because sometimes they're running past where there's a bunch of wolves. There could be a bear, anything like that, and you got to be prepared for that. Sometimes it's not even worth it, or there's a storm coming and you can't chase them. This is where you have to make decisions to whether you want to come back to this later and find them later on. You could find them because the crows will give you a sign where it's a dead deer, but sometimes they could die in like weird spots. There's been times I lost arrows because I could not find the deer that I killed later on. So that's what I'm saying. There's times when if I don't feel comfortable using this and I really need to get a move on, or the weather's changing drastically, I'd rather just switch to my rifle and just end the hunt really quick. One shot, he's dead. That's it. Boom. If I don't feel comfortable with this, or I want a little bit more close range, I move with the revolver and do that basically. But any of these weapons should be fine. Like I said, also if you're taking cold damage, sometimes you shake and you can't aim really good with a bow or this. So you have to be really careful and stuff like that. Knife and hatchet you always want to bring with you because again, if you hunt, you need to gather the meat that you're gonna be bringing back with you to base. Move from there basically like that. The hatchet is also good for wood stuff like that you need to take, in case you find yourself in a cave or anything like that. You can't make it back to base. You need firewood and stuff like that. Your hatchet is there, and also they could be also a weapon to defend yourself against the wolves, in case you don't basically uh, are able to kill them with either the bow, the rifle, whatever, or you don't have any ammo or anything like that. Or you happen to don't have anything at all from these, and you only have these. At least you have a fighting chance with these two. I bring a can opener for food, matches, pry bar, which you need because you'll find a lot of things you're gonna need to be opening with a pry bar. Fire striker, I like the fire striker better because this way, if I have the fire striker, I don't have to use all my matches. I can use my fire striker, and if in case it goes out, I like it basically is maxed out. Basically, I can switch to my matches, and I'll still have plenty left. You go when you travel, you're going to be hitting like areas you want to investigate, like mines and houses that are dark or anything like that, or you're going to maybe find yourself walking in the dark or stuff like that. You want to bring light with you, so at least I bring my torches, and I bring my flares, and I bring my lantern. So torches I usually try to bring at least maybe 4 with me, and flares I bring 2, and I bring my lantern with me, and at least 2 of the lantern fuels with me in case anything happens, stuff like that. But I usually typically will use my lantern first, try to use that bad boy first, and then if I'm running out, I use my one of these until I run out. Then I have my choices of going to these right here, basically. Once I don't have any more fuel left, I bring the accelerant in case I need to start a fire or anything like that. And any section that I go, I bring at least 1 or 2 of these, depending, But if your fire skills up, you should be able to make fires really quick and not have an issue. But you always want to bring one of these with you in case, you never know. But basically, this is what it is. And also, the most important thing you want to bring with you is also going to be water and your type of food that you want to bring. Now, the venison, I always bring with me at least maybe 4 venison, and I bring water at least maybe 6 liters, like 5 or 6 liters with me. Like I said, you want to watch your weight. You don't want to be bringing too much stuff that you're going to be like sluggish walking and stuff like that. I bring a little bit of snacks if I'm able to as well. Like the chips or sodas or stuff like that with me in case. But yeah, basically is what I bring. Be very careful with venison when you bring it with you, or any kind of rabbit meat or any kind of meat at all, because wolves, if we're playing in Stalker mode, they have a insane aggro ratio and smell ratio. If you have this on, they will smell you from miles away, and they're going to be attracted to you. So just be aware if you're bringing this and you're traveling, be ready and be alert because they might pop out anywhere because they're going to smell this and they're going to come after you. I have wolves sometimes that I've been walking through an area, and there may be like, without exaggeration, there may be like about 7 miles or far away from me that I see them as dots basically. And I'm walking, and next thing you know, they're getting closer to me already because they smell the meat. That far away, they smell it. So it's pretty freaking insane. There is an option in when you start your options, I guess, in the game where you could, lower that down. But I mean, that's completely up to you. But I don't like doing that. But I just still think that's a little bit too crazy. And yeah, so that's what I bring basically. And I think I did talk about the stim shot, but yeah, always bring a stim shot to as well with you in case anything happens that you find yourself in a situation where you're dying and stuff like that. You pop that in, and you're able to get away and try to run somewhere or try to make it somewhere to take care of your wounds and try to survive. But yeah, basically these are my tools that I bring with me. This is what I choose. Basically, it doesn't mean this is that always thing that you should bring with you. No, no, no. This is what I bring. Like I said, there's a lot of players out there that play differently. They do things differently than I do. They also provide great tips. But basically, I'm showing you what I bring with me and stuff like that. Okay. And traveling, basically, we're going to talk about that traveling. You want to be aware of the time when you leave your section. Basically, if you're going to leave anywhere and stuff like that, you always want to be aware of the time and if it's worth you going out there or not. Like for example, let's see if you go outside right now, real quick. So you should check this because that's the thing about Stalker. You want to be aware of the weather. Like for example, right now it's snowing. Now you may think to yourself, okay, it's snowing. I could go out there and stuff like that. Choose the area where you're going to and think of to yourself, how far am I going, and if in case a storm breaks out, can I make it back in time? You know, how well do I know the surroundings? You know, where I'm at right now, in case I get caught in a storm or a fog storm or whatever it may be. You know, how do I know how to get back here? Am I able to get back here in time? Do I know the path? You know, what's going on? You know, you want to make these choices. You know, as you're going to travel. So, for example, here, let's say I'm going to go hunt. I'm going to think to myself, okay, I'm going to go hunting. It's snowing. I don't know how bad it can get. You know, and you can't really guess the weather. You know, right now it could be this bad and we have a storm, or if not, it might just get sunny. But let's say I'm actually going to go hunting and I want to head down to the lake down this way. How far am I from it? So that's what I want to think about, and what's out here basically. So if I walk around here and I start hearing wolves, or I go over there and I see like 5 wolves over there, 2 wolves over there, you know, and I'm carrying meat with me, and it's snowing like this, and whatever's going on, I'm gonna be like, you know what, I'm not gonna take the chance. So it's always about chance, and you making the right choice basically. So if you don't feel comfortable going out in storms like this, then don't. You know, always be sure that you just have enough food, enough supplies, and stuff like that. You know, to be okay for the next day, or see how the weather does to as well. You know, and move on from there too as well. Um, if you are out of food basically and you need to hunt, then yeah, go out there. Be sure that you're ready. Take the necessary things that you need to in case anything breaks out. And see, here's a bear. I think that's a bear or wolf. I'm not really sure. That's a bear. See? You see how he just came out of nowhere? This is what I mean. You always want to be prepared because you never know what could happen. But yeah, if you go out there, like I was saying, make the right choices. Be aware. Check around. Look at the weather. Sometimes you could guess it by seeing it and stuff like that. Like I heard, for example, like if you happen to be in a clear day and you see the flock of birds flying by and moving by, that the weather supposed is going to change. It's not stated that that's true, but I noticed that I tested it basically that many times when I gone out there and I see these birds fly by, you know, the weather has changed. It has gone from either windy to clear to stormy to foggy. It just depends, you know. But that's just me. But I mean, a lot of people don't say it on the long dark forums or anything like that. That's something they confirm. But that's something that I seen, that I noticed, you know, stuff like that, you know. But yeah, like I said, make the right choices. Go out there, take care of yourself. Basically, you want to be alert. You want to know your surroundings. You want to take everything that you need. Don't pick a lot of things that you're not going to be able to carry back with you. You don't basically make yourself don't carry a lot of stuff where you're going to be walking very sluggish, or not walking at all. You're going to be walking very slow because basically you're setting yourself up to get attacked pretty easily or find yourself in a very bad situation. Also, one thing you need to know about the Long Dark that I'm going to mention here that I'm pretty sure a lot of people know, but maybe they don't talk about, I'm not really sure, is if you do happen to go out there and you're about to get attacked by anything like that, or you made the wrong choice. They said you went out there and a storm hit and you're not prepared or anything like that. You could always reset your file. You could always quit, reset your file, and it'll take you back to the last place you saved that. That, however, it's going to depend, you know, if you didn't get injured. If you went to your travel and you took any kind of injury, you're basically going to be out of luck doing that because it's going to save you right at that moment when the incident happened and stuff like that. So that's what I'm saying. If you happen to be out there and you haven't gotten any injuries and you made the wrong decision, you could quit and go back to the to where you left off last time. But that's only if you did not take an injury, and that thing is a lifesaver sometimes because, you know, you could prevent something and try again basically. But anyways, this is going to cover that. I believe the next thing I want to move into is basically the next thing on survival. So let me go ahead and jump into that, and I'll meet you guys back here in a bit, okay? All right, so the next thing we're going to be talking in the guide is going to be about your player status, afflictions and injuries, and precautions. These are the 3 things we're going to talk about. We're going to take them each one at a time. So first, let's talk about basically your player status. So let's go back to game, and we're going to be focusing on the 4 right here. So I'm going to try to keep it as simple as I can, but let's go ahead and go. So basically, the first one we're going to start with is your cold meter right here. As you can see, since we're indoors, basically we're warm. We don't have to worry about it so much. But when you leave outside, you will get bars to show you how cold it is outside, depending on your clothes and stuff like that, and how the weather is. As you can see, since we're outside right now, our cold temperature right now. It's not that bad outside. It's a good day. You have 2 bars that are dropping down, so you are basically okay to go explore. However, you still take precaution going out there, because 2 bars still could lower it down a little bit more quicker. Not super quick, but quick, and better than you getting one. Because one is like you're still taking cold damage, but not drastically, basically. So this thing you want to be very aware of, because if you go basically um, anywhere outside, stuff like that, if you're going to be doing any hunting or any gathering and stuff like that, or you know, let's say you kill a deer and you want to like harvest the meat and stuff like that, you have to be aware of this meter, because if you let it drop to a certain percentage, stuff like that, if you let it go to red, you should still be okay, but you have a higher risk of basically hyperthermia and frostbite too as well, because you're basically being exposed to the colds. You want to basically seek shelter or make a fire or whatever you're doing. You want to basically be sure that you're not going to be getting these afflictions. The afflictions won't happen right away. They take a little bit of time to basically happen, but if you keep being exposed to this type of weather, it's going to keep feeling basically the bar meter that's going to happen there, and then you will get those afflictions. And I believe for hyperthermia, if you do get it, you have to believe sleep more than 24 hours, I believe, inside a building, basically an insulated building, basically take care of it. I don't remember if it's 24 hours or 10 hours, but I will say it's 24 hours. And if you get frostbite, same thing, you have to basically recuperate from it too as well. You have to basically heat it and stuff like that. When you enter any kind of building or stuff like that, you don't want to just automatically go to bed. Basically, you want to check, be sure that everything's okay in there before you even go to bed, because even though it will prompt you, there's a lot of places or sections that will prompt you you're getting warmth. It won't probably be that way if later on it gets dark or storm hits or something. It might drop in temperature. So the best way to test this out is, let's say you are in a building like this and you aren't sure whether this is going to stay warm or cold. What you could do is you're going to basically kick your bed. And the best thing to do is pass time, basically. So you pass 1 hour. Reason why you do this is because if you go to sleep for 1 hour and let's say you just went in there and the place was warm for basically a few minutes, and then it drops in temperature and you slept for like an hour or two, maybe 3, you're going to be taking that affliction of the cold is going to drop drastically. So you want to not do that. You could basically either get hypothermia or like probably be getting closer to death, because your life meter will drop. But the reason why we do it this way is if you go past time and something happens, you're able to actually stop it at that moment, and prevent that from happening. So let's say we pass time right now and you see your meter there, see nothing happened, so that way you could test it. If it would have been like a cold area, stuff like that, it would have started dropping the bar. So anytime you do stuff like that, you check a building, you want to be spending the night there and stuff like that, you want to check it that way to be sure if you're going to be safe in there and it's going to be okay for you to survive the night, and stay there basically. If you do find an area that you're going into, such as a cave, a building that's not very insulated or anything like that, that is going to be dropping in temperature, and you already tested this out, and you know for a fact that you're going to need to stay warm in there, best thing to do is for you to gather firewood basically, and bring it with you to the area you stay, and that's so you can keep a fire going. Same thing applies when you go outside. If you're going to gather anything outside, you want to be sure how the weather is, how your clothes is, anything like that, because you don't want to take cold damage, because if you go, let's say for example these pallets right here, right? Let me go get a hatchet really quick so I can show you, because I want to show you this. I feel like a lot of people, they do talk about this, but they don't show it or probably mention it. But let me show you really quick over here. I remember the first time I played this game and I killed my first deer, and it asked me to harvest it, and I didn't even think about the cold or stuff like that. I just went ahead and harvested it because I thought it was going to be okay, and I automatically died because I was not paying attention to the stats or didn't know much about the game. And that was my fault for, like not, really checking or trying to see, what's going on and stuff like that. But for example, let's say you're going to go gather firewood to keep inside your area. You want to be sure that you have the right, basically that you're going to be okay. The weather's not too drastic, stuff like that. You have the right clothes. If you don't have the right clothes, you can take in a lot of freeze damage. You need this firewood, at least for you to, if you have something small or firewood already inside, a little bit left, you could start a little fire over here to at least keep you warm for that moment, basically. Same thing if you're cooking. You want to be, not cooking, I'm sorry, gathering meat. You want to be like sure that whatever the deer you kill, the animal you kill, you have some kind of fire going, so that way it'll keep you safe. You won't freeze. But if you click here on pallet and I say break down, It says it's going to take 1 hour and 30 minutes. If you see enough, I do it. Like I said, this is where decision making counts. You got to be really sure. So let's say I say breakdown. You see my cold meter how it's dropping because it's one little arrow, so I should be okay. But if you have the meter dropping like if you go out there in the cold setting, the meter has like 4 or 5 arrows down, or like it's very cold. You don't want to be doing that because you're gonna that's gonna drop very drastically very fast, and you don't want to be doing that. And that's the same thing applies for hunting. If you butchering a carcass, you're taking all the meat that you need from there. If you're gonna be like passing time outside or anything like that, you want to be aware of that meter because, like I said, it won't kill you right away. You will be getting that risk of that happening, or freezing to death. So best thing to do is if you're caught in a storm and that's red, try not to panic. Try to find a place, and this is why I'm telling you to get used to your surroundings. Basically, get used to what's around you. Get to know the area. That way, okay, if I get caught in the storm or I'm freezing, there's a house nearby. There's a cave nearby. There's this nearby. I can make it there, and I can start a fire, and I can do this. So that's just why I'm saying, you want to be aware, of where you're going. But yeah, cold meter, like I said, if you are walking around and you start freezing, and your meter goes to red, don't panic. You're okay. As long as you know the area, you're fine. You will get a hypothermia affliction thing that will tell you you're taking in, but doesn't mean you have it. But just try to get somewhere safe, and you should be okay. But if you feel that you're not going to be able to make it to the place you need to go to, or you're going to take too long in doing what you're doing, and you find any kind of shelter nearby, then take that. It's better that you take that and spend the night there than you go out there and take the chances and basically dying. So that is basically your freeze meter. Then we're going to talk about your tire meter. Tire meter will prevent you from doing a lot of things. I think if you get too tired, you're not going to be able to function properly. You're going to walk more. You're going to basically not be able to sprint. You're going to walk more slower. I think if you try to work on things too as well, like if you try to break pallets down, stuff like that, you still be able to do it. Chop wood or harvest meat or anything like that. It will let you do it, but it will take probably a little bit more longer if I'm correct. And also, you will take damage. Like you see a little life meter in the bottom right there. If you take too long, like if you're too tired, it's going to start taking like damage. And depending how many hours you do it, it could drop very drastically. So you want to be sure that if you are tired and stuff like that, you are making the right decisions. If you don't need that deer right away, then don't get it. You could always come back another time and grab it. Don't risk basically your life or your game file just for that. You have to be smart basically and Stalker. Make the right choices, make the right decisions, do what's right basically. So basically that's what it is. And also if you're super tired and you happen to still keep wandering around and want to keep pushing forward, then you could do that, but you have to do it with extra caution and precautions and knowing the area and everything around, because if you don't, then you keep walking and you run into any kind of like animal out there, like a bear or a moose or a wolf, and they attack you, you're basically done for. If you're tired, you can't fight back, you're going to die. So this is what I'm telling you. You have to call your choices. If you are too tired and you happen to come to any section where you can rest, that you're going to be okay, then do that. It's better than you taking that risk, So that's basically what that meter is going to be. It's going to, like I said, you're going to be too tired to do certain things. It's going to take more longer. You're going to be taking damage. You won't be able to read books. Like if you try to read books, you're going to be too tired to basically do that, and they will not let you do that. Okay? The water meter right here that we have is going to be a thirst. So thirst, same thing. It's not very drastically that it's going to kill you. You're just going to be thirsty. Your player is going to be complaining, saying that it's thirsty, whatever. You won't die. It takes little chunks of your health, basically, when you're not drinking water. However, if you are thirsty, you don't have any water, you forget, and you decide to, like I said, harvest something, break down something, pass time or whatever, that meter, depending on how many hours you put, is going to drop a little bit more faster because you're passing time. So you want to be aware of that. Be very careful. Same thing with the books. If you're trying to read books and you're thirsty, it will not let you read the books properly because you're thirsty, and it will not let you concentrate. So, that's going to happen. But yeah, with thirst, like I said, it's not something major. Yes, you need to get some water. Yes, you need to get it going, especially if you don't have anything. If you're completely out, you want to start finding a way to make water. This is why, like I said, when you go out, you want to take extra stuff with you in case you don't have a lot of water, or take the right amount of water. You don't want to take too much water where you're like overweight, where you're like walking very slow. You're like basically vulnerable to anything. I believe the amount that I take that should be enough is like about maybe 5 or 6 liters of water. If you're gonna go further down, then you have to like check your inventory and see what you can leave behind, or check that you be able to, at least walk more faster or sprint more faster. That's not going to conflict, basically your travel. Because like I said, you don't want to be caught with a wolf chasing you or a bear and you can barely run or do anything. It's life in this situation right there. But that's only the things that has to do with thirst. Hunger, same thing. It won't kill you right away. It's gonna go to red. You go to take a little bit of more damage, here and there. If you try to read a book, same thing. It's not going to let you read it because you're too hungry. Uh, and these two ones we're talking about, the three ones. Let's just add the other one. But the three ones we're talking about, whenever you go to bed, always check those. No matter where you're at, always check those two as well, especially the hunger and your thirst. If you are out of food or water and you're going to go to bed, I suggest you, and you don't have anything, I suggest you're taking like little slow naps here and there, like at least an hour or 2 hours, until you're making sure, you're not going to kill yourself basically going to bed. I've seen people, and I've done it too as well, where I forget that, that I was thirsty or my thing was on red or whatever, and I sleep for like 10 hours. And next thing you know, like I wake up and my meter over here is half done, half gone, or I'm like getting like very drastically to where I could kill myself. Basically, you want to be like very aware you don't do that. So whenever you go to bed, you want to check those three. Basically, check your hunger, your thirst, that you're okay. Check your cold meter to be sure if the new area that you're at, you're not going to be freezing. If you check those, you're always on point with those, you're gonna be okay. If you don't have any food or water, then I say take it easy, do it slow. Just like take a few hours here and there nap, and just be sure you can make it to the night. If you're able to go out during the day to at least find some kind of food or something like that, you could do that. Uh, there are certain foods that give you hydration, I believe. I think, if I am correct, I know for a fact peaches give you a water. So if you eat the peaches, you get some water. And if you also believe eat the beans, you get some kind of water out of it. I could be wrong on that one, but if I remember correct, you could get some kind of water out of the beans. Sodas, if you take sodas with you, if you have them, if you run out of water, if you have a few sodas, you could take them with you. They won't give you like a full hydration, but they'll give you some water. So this is why I say when you leave to anywhere you go, you want to be sure you take the right amount of stuff that you need. So basically, these are going to be the four stats that we were focusing on. Check these, be really careful, and as long as you check these, you follow them, you're good. You should be okay. But like I say, if you are in red, don't panic. It's not that you're gonna die right away. It takes it takes time, you know. But you want to take care of the most important things, that could kill you. Which in this case, I believe will be, your tiredness and your cold meter, because this thing's gonna give you afflictions that are, especially the cold one, can give afflictions that could like really mess up your play, basically. Tiredness not so much, but like I said, it does have the chance that if you keep going and you want to make it to your camp and you're being persistent, and you happen to encounter a wolf that's hidden and stuff like that, because wolves, like I said, this game in Stalker mode are very sneaky, and you get one that's right next to you and he jumps you in that moment, you're basically gonna die. Same thing with a bear, same thing with a moose. Okay, so that covers basically your status, your stats for your character. Now we're going to move to the next thing, which is going to be afflictions and injuries. Okay, so let's jump into that. All right, so we're going to be talking now about afflictions and injuries. So let's go ahead and start with afflictions. Afflictions come in many different forms depending on what you're doing. Um, there are different types. For example, you have food poisoning, cabin fever, parasites, uh, hyperthermia, uh, frostbite. There are different types depending on what's going on and stuff like that. Let's talk about basically. Let's talk about food poisoning. So food poisoning is basically if you find any type of item or food that is basically low in quality, such as like, they're yellow, already red, stuff that you want to be very cautious of eating. You can still eat it, but you have to be with the thought in mind that if you do eat that, you have the risk of basically getting food poisoning. And for you to basically develop basically a little bit of immunity basically to food poisoning, be able to eat more stuff like that, as if by any chance you're cooking, it's a little bit more higher. I believe if you have cooking 5 or higher, you can start eating stuff like that, and you have a lower risk of getting stuff like that, But I don't have basically my cooking at 5. I believe my cooking is at 4, and whenever I eat stuff like that, it's always me taking a chance. But I have the proper equipment or the proper things that I need basically to take care of that affliction in case it happens. But like I said, if you find anything, for example, these potato chips over here, chips, whatever, they are at 40%. This is something that you could still eat. It's okay. But since it's yellow, you still have the risk of getting food poisoning. Anything that is yellow, 39, 40, 25%, stuff like that, you want to be very aware, and you know that you're taking that risk that if you eat that, it could happen. So in case you're doing that, be sure that you have basically at least antibiotics with you, or some kind of reishi tea or something that's going to help you. And if you don't have that and you still eat it and take it, like you eat basically the food, and you do get the affliction, then the best thing to do is you're gonna have to just wait it out, rest it out, and hope that the affliction doesn't kill you. That I'm aware when I had the affliction and I haven't had any antibiotics or stuff like that to basically fight it off, and I have rested. Usually it heals on its own. It's I haven't it has never killed me. I don't know if it will. I never seen a character dying by that affliction of food poisoning. But like I said, you just got to take that chance. So anything that's like I said, yellow or red, you want to be very cautious, have the right equipment for it, and just like take a chance, basically. If it's do it only if it's necessary. If you have other food that you could eat that can help you out, then do that. Something that's not so down in degradation, basically, like that's like not that bad. You could eat that instead. So you won't take that risk. But the only times you should be eating stuff like this, like yellow and stuff like that, is whenever you basically have no other choice and you have to eat that, you know. And red is definitely in desperation times where you have nothing basically, and that's all you found. You're playing like a hard file. You found that's the only thing you found. It's like basically already gone, 2%, 5%, 1%, whatever. And you have to take the chance, then just eat it. But that will give you the highest risk of you probably getting it. So you want to be very careful, stuff like that. So because once you get food poisoning, I believe is 10 hours of rest you could do, and you will get tired more easily. Your character is going to affect your character a little bit more, and doing stuff, going outside will be more risky. You're going to be taking a little bit more damage. So just be very careful when you do that. So that's basically your food poisoning. The next one's going to be cabin fever. Talking about cabin fever is going to be if you stay indoors for too long, if you're doing stuff indoors for too long, you're going to get prompted with a affliction, and it's going to tell you that you're developing cabin fever, that you need to basically be outdoors more longer. It doesn't mean you have it. It's just letting you know that you're going to get it if you keep doing that. So the best thing to do if you're staying on your base, depending what your base you choose, if you choose this, is you should do like a little snow shelter. You should always carry stuff for you to at least do a snow shelter and balance it out. So what I do is if I get the affliction already that's telling me, like, hey, you're staying indoors for too long, you're going to get this, I technically go outside. And outside I already have my snow shelter built. I have it right here. It's going to be built for me right over here. And I have built a fire right next to it with the stones basically turned to the way where the entrance is at, so that way I could put any kind of cooking that I need to do. Like if I need to warm up food or cook meat that I hunt, like if I brought deer meat back or anything, or rabbit, I could cook it there, coffee, make water. It's right there, and I could just do it from the comfort from the shelter and not have to be outside, in case anything happens. So that's one thing I do. And if I get that affliction, or like get prompted I'm going to get that affliction, I stay out here so that way it could go away and balance it out. Or if I have already the affliction that I need to sleep for 10 hours or 24 hours, whatever it may be, I could just stay out here and do that. Be aware too as well that once you stay out here, in this section, the shelter will protect you. But if it takes too much damage, it could start degrading to where cold can get in and you could start taking cold damage. So if you do that, just be aware, when you go to bed, try to balance it out, like I said before, which is like, if you sleep in there, sleep for 1, 2 hours, 3 hours, go like that. If there's a storm going on outside and you're in your shelter, that's when you really want to check it. You want to, like, if you want to sleep Don't sleep for the full 8 hours when the storm is going on and stuff like that. Always sleep for at least, I don't know, 2 hours, 3 hours. Just check it. Before you do that. But you're not taking cold damage. And if you feel more comfortable, also do the thing I told you, which is the pass time. You know, pass some time just to be sure to see how badly it's gonna drop. But if you start getting too cold here and you don't want to stay in there because you don't have no way to warm yourself, or it's just you don't have time to fix it, or something's going on, you can leave your snow shelter and go back inside and just balance it out basically. So that's basically what I do. Whenever it's hardly now when I play my file that I stay in there. I usually stay outside now the most. I think the only time that I actually come back inside is like when I haven't been taking care of my shelter and it starts taking cold damage and I don't have time to fix it, or there's too much stuff going on here like a bear or a wolf are walking around, then I'll just go back inside and just stay there, and balance it out that way. But that's what cabin fever will do, and if you do get the affliction, it will not let you sleep indoors. So that's why you don't want to get that, because you're going to be forced to sleep outside for the amount of period of time that you need to sleep out there. Okay? So the other one is going to be basically parasite. So parasite is going to be basically food, meat, basically like food, any type of food that's like from an animal. So if you get meat from like a bear or a wolf, I'm not sure if moose give you that. I have to check on that. I will check into it, and if I find more information, I will link it here. But I believe right now that I'm aware of is only wolves and bears. If you kill them and you harvest their meat and whatever you harvest from them, and you start cooking the meat and you eat it, you might probably be okay at first. But if you keep eating it, you'll get a prompt thing, just like the cabin fever thing, where it'll tell you like, hey, you're building, you're in risk of getting parasites, so just stop eating wolf meat and you'll be okay. But if you keep eating it and eating it, you're going to get the parasite. And the parasite, what it's going to do once you have it is, I think it lowers down your calories. You can't eat as much as you used to before. It takes a lot more food to get you full, I think it is, or something like that. But you don't want it. It's something nasty, and you don't want to get it. And I think it takes a while for you to get rid of it. I don't remember if it's 24 hours or more longer than that. And you have to have the medication for it, and just you have to wait it out until it goes away once you take the medication. But like I said, if you are going to be eating wolf meat or bear meat, if you're going to do that, make it a last resort. Make it because you don't have any more food. You're just trying to survive, or you went somewhere where that's all you have, or stuff like that. Then yeah, just make it just for that moment that you're eating that. But don't make it a habit that you're eating that a lot, because if you don't have your cooking up, you're risking your chances of getting that, and also risking your chances of like getting your character killed basically, and for you to stay more indoors and building other afflictions and stuff like that. So you want to be very careful. So like I said, last resort, don't do that. Bear, wolf will do that. Cure it, you need your medication, and just basically, like I said, just stay away from that. And so we talked about parasites, frostbite you get from the cold, which we already talked about. If you stay too long in the cold, then you develop, I believe, hypothermia. Or you keep staying in the cold, you will get frostbite. It will get healed, but if you keep staying indoors, it can keep damaging your character. So find a place warm, okay, so you won't have to develop that. Let me see any other afflictions that we talked about over here. I'm trying to think of everything we talked about. I think that I covered them the most too as well. But if I forgot one, I apologize. Afflictions, for example. You go anywhere, you're gonna travel around. Be very careful you're not taking a lot of weight. If you're going up hills, be aware that you might get a sprained ankle or a sprained wrist. So be aware of this. If you have any kind of weapons with you and you get a sprained wrist, you won't be able to use the weapon. It will not let you. So you do not want to get this one. This is the one that I believe is more dangerous, because if you get that and you don't have any bandages to fix that with, or any painkillers or anything that can fix it, you won't be able to use your weapon. If you run into any wolf or any kind of animal that's going to attack you, you won't be able to fight back. So this is a thing you always want to carry with you to heal it. You always want to have bandages with you and painkillers. So be aware of that. Your sprained ankle is not very dangerous. I would say it's still a danger, but not to an extreme like the other one is. Because with that you can still kind of walk and keep going, but you're kind of like limping. The only time that will pose a danger is if you have a wolf or a bear close by that get attracted to you and stuff like that. You want to be very careful. Uh, when you're walking like this, and if you see any kind of animals near you, you want to kind of be basically stay away from them. Like try to take a different path. So that way you won't have to run into the situation and stuff like that with a sprained ankle. If you get any lacerations, for example, like if you like you're bleeding out, you have an infection or stuff like that. Like I said, you always got to carry your first aid kit with you. If you have any kind of infection, you have your antiseptic, I think it's called, for your wounds. If you don't have that, always you could have your old man's wounding beer. They the bandage you make out of the old man's beer. Uh, you could put that on, and that works as an antiseptic, so you could cure your infection. Don't let it like drag on, because if you let it drag on, you could get that. I think it could become an affliction. It could kill you. So be very careful. Bleeding out. That's why you have bandages. So be sure that if you're bleeding out, stuff like that, you get it to attack. If a wolf or a bear or something attacks you and you're bleeding out, try to find somewhere safe where you could get away and take care of your injuries. Have your bandages ready, everything that you need. If you're carrying everything you need that I show you here, you should be okay. But this is the thing that we're talking about. You don't want to take risks to where you find yourself in the situations. You want to be basically able to, when you go out, be aware of your surroundings, know where you're going, make a plan already, have it in your head, make the right choices. You don't want to just go out there, and don't be prepared and say I'll be okay. And even if you're not prepared, there's times that I gone out too, not prepared and stuff like that. I don't have certain things, but even me going out of that, I still try to make the right decisions. And also, if I do go, I'm always alert. And if there's something going on that prevents me from going where I'm going, like if I run into 4 wolves or something, I turn back, because I'm not going to risk that, stuff like that. So be aware and stuff like that. There was one more thing I was going to say, like also dangerous to. So the thing I was going to talk about was your food. If you're carrying venison, your deer meat or rabbit meat, or any kind of meat that the wolves can smell or the bears can smell, they're going to be on you. They have an aggro ratio that's very far. It's ridiculous. And I don't know if I already mentioned this, and I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself, but I'm going to repeat myself and give you guys this information so that way you guys don't forget. But yeah, if you're carrying any kind of meat and you walk out, you'll have wolves that will aggro on you. So be aware of that. You walk in with anything like that, they will see you, they will smell you, they will come after you. I have wolves where I'm standing right here. I have like probably a piece of venison in me, and I have a wolf that's probably, if I can make an example, it's probably where that light post is over there, but farther than that. And they smell me from over there and come over here. Next thing you know, I have 4 wolves on me. So whenever you're walking like this, you want to be very careful, because any time, any second, you could be walking down the road, you'll be fine. A few minutes later, you're coming back and you have 3 wolves on you. Bears will also smell the meat. They'll come after you, but they're more slower. So you see one right there walking right now. He's very slow. He's making his way to where he needs to go, but he's not much of a threat, so you should be okay. But yeah, that let me see what else is considered like an injury to as well. Shortcuts. If you're taking shortcuts, if you're going to come down the hill, be very careful when you do so, because, like I said, you run the risk of getting a sprained ankle or falling and taking an injury. So just be careful that if you're going to make your way down to another section, you're making a safe path, where you're not going to fall straight down, or it's not going to be too steep down, basically. So always be careful with that. And remember, that I seen that works for me whenever if let's say I'm coming down the hill and the road is down there, and let's say I see like 3 wolves down the road, and I'm like, okay, I don't want to go that way. I'm going to go down this hill. What I do is I make my way to the hill, and once I make my way to the bottom, I usually crouch down and start making my way down. It's not a guarantee that you're not going to get a sprained ankle or sprained wrist, but I feel like when I've done it, it takes more longer for it to happen than if you were just to go straight down like that. So be very careful and stuff like that when you do anything like that. So I think I mainly cover everything about the afflictions, injuries, things you could get at that. So I think the next thing we're going to move into the survival. Oh, I heard a bear. Oh, there he goes. So the next thing we're going to move into the survival is going to be basically the last tips I could offer to you guys. Okay. So if I miss anything here, I do apologize. I wish I could put everything else that I miss, or I could put more, but I don't want to keep these videos too long for you guys. But if I miss anything, do let me know. And I do apologize. But like I said, the point here is survival, and I think if you keep following these tips, you're gonna be okay. But let's go ahead and move to the last things I could offer as and tips, basically, and anything that I might be able to offer before we end the video, though. But I do appreciate it. So give me 1 second. Let's go ahead and jump there. All right. So these are my final thoughts and advice for you guys. So there's a lot of things to go into the Long Dark, especially Stalker mode. It is challenging. It is going to be hard, but with this advice and everything I gave you guys will overcome it. So don't worry. Uh, Again, all of us have our play style, the way that we play a game and stuff like that. And I hope that this video, in somehow, some way, helps you. Gives you the proper knowledge that you need to be able to just start your file however you want to start it, whatever region you want to start on, anything that you want to do, however you want to go about it. Hopefully, this advice that I gave you, the tips and everything like that, help you out, and help you become a better survivor and last longer in your file of Stalker. Um, Let me think about anything that I forgot right now. The thing that I saw that I didn't mention, but I kind of did mention a little bit, was about the cold, and the affliction was the hypothermia. I don't think I talked about it, but hypothermia basically falls in the same category we're talking about the cold, which was basically like, you don't want to be out there for too long. If you get hypothermia, it's going to affect you too as well. If you get hypothermia, you're going to have to stay indoors, and take care of it, cure it. Basically, I believe for it to cure, it's about 10 hours. If I remember, it's 10 hours, or it could be 24, but I believe it's 10. But yeah, you don't want to fall into that. And if you do have these afflictions, you could, like any of the afflictions. So if you have, hypothermia, you can still go outside, but your character is more vulnerable. Basically, he's taking more damage. He's weaker and stuff like that. So you want to be aware of that too as well if you're going to go out there with any afflictions. But hypothermia is that you just want to stay somewhere warm. You don't want to keep being out in the cold, because it will damage you and it can kill you. Again, when you go out, be aware of your surroundings. Be really careful. Stay alert. Don't get into situations you're not supposed to. If you see a wolf, there's many times where I have encountered wolves, that I am basically walking somewhere, and a wolf has spotted me from far away and starts following me around. I usually don't even confront the wolf, because I want nothing to do with them, or because basically I don't want to waste ammunition, because I'm out of arrows or something, or I just don't want to deal with them, because I know that I could just make it to my destination without having to worry about them. You could just keep walking and just keep an eye on him. Just keep walking, looking back, making sure he's not getting closer to you and stuff like that. But always be alert. But it always comes to decision. If you whatever decision you want to make is completely up to you. For me, for example, since I'm comfortable with the game, what I'm doing, I know that I could just keep going, and if at any point he gets triggered and tries to attack me, I could take him out, basically, because I already have either my rifle or my bow ready. Speaking about those, if you have the bow, get comfortable with the bow if you're going to be using it. I cannot stress that enough. The bow is very weird to use. The aiming is very awkward. Basically, you have to really get used to it. Just by you aiming a certain way, if you have your sight in a certain way, doesn't mean you might probably end up hitting that target where it is. Sometimes you gotta be slightly off by a few inches or something like that. It's very weird. It's very strange. So that's what I'm saying. Get used to the bow. Practice it. Try to do something with it. Try. If you are good, if you're gonna take a risk on a wolf and stuff like that, and you have the proper equipment to survive an attack or stuff like that, and you want to get used to the bow, or you want to do it from far away, then try out the bow. Try to see where the aiming is at and stuff like that. Everyone finds their sweet spot, basically, on the bow to use, basically, where they're able to aim. I'm so good at the bow now, killing wolves, that it's not an issue. So for me, whenever I encounter something, instead of me not wasting bullets, I'll use my bow. The only time I use the gun, I believe, is if I have to hunt, or if I have no other choice. I'm not good with the bow where I can hunt deer with it very easily. I used to be, but not anymore. And the thing that sucks about if you're hunting deer with a bow is that if you didn't get it with the first shot, if you aim it at the right spots where it was supposed to die instantly, and it doesn't, he'll run away from with your arrow. He'll just keep going with his arrow, running away, just doing all of that, and you're gonna have to be chasing them around, taking more chances. Sometimes he can run towards wolves or bears, and then now you have to like go around and take a longer path and take chances basically erase that, and you don't want that. There's been times also where I seen the deer just run off to where there's wolves, and I'm like, you know what, I'm not gonna take that chance. And I said to myself, I'll come back tomorrow and find them, and I know which way he went. So in the morning when I come back, I haven't found the deer anymore. Like I can't find them. The crows, where I look for crows to see by any chance, like he's there, dead or stuff like that, but I don't see them. I have lost arrows like this, so that's the only time when I don't feel comfortable with the bow, that I know that I can't do a shot, or it's too cold, or my character is too cold and it's shaking. Then I use my rifle basically to hunt the deer. This is why I carry usually a few bullets, to hunt deer and stuff like that and bring it back with me. But yeah, that's why you want to be aware of. Be aware also when you're going around ice. There's a lot of thin ice, because if you go to the small regions like that, basically where it's close to the sea, you have a chance of falling in. So you want to be aware of it as well. If you start in the region code, I think it's Forlorn Musket, I think it is, if I'm correct. There is certain sections that look just like this, and you walk to them, there's thin ice, and by the time you realize that it's too late, and you'll fall into. So you want to be very careful with that. But like I said, it all comes down to being alert, being aware, and just doing the best you can, making the right choices, and understanding, how to go about things. Like I said, being alert to the weather, if you should go out or not. When is the right time to go out. If you're injured, if you have affliction, should you be going out and hunting? Things like that. You have to understand that, and if you start making the right choices and doing the right thing, you're going to survive way more longer in this. Okay. So I believe that's all I can think about covering and stuff like that in this guide for you guys. But yeah, I want to thank you guys for sticking around. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. And if you guys have any other questions or anything like that, I do have a Twitch channel, which I will link here. It's also on my YouTube. You guys go check me out there. I usually stream a lot there. That's mainly where I'm at. So if you guys do happen to come by my streams when I am playing The Long Dark, and you need advice or anything like that, or anything you need, and you're new to the game or whatever, and you have questions, come on by and ask me. You're not bothering me. I'll do whatever I can to help you out and answer any questions I have. I apologize again for this video. By any chance it might be a little bit too fast, or it was too long, or something I didn't cover. It's my first time making a tutorial. So I'm trying it out and see how it goes, and I hope you guys enjoy it. But if you guys did enjoy it, do let me know. And if you guys want longer videos, you don't mind longer videos, let me know, and I don't mind making a longer video. However, like I said, YouTube is not basically something that I plan to do. I started YouTube a while back, and once I found Twitch, that's where I'm at now. I like Twitch. That's where I want to stay. I might probably, maybe, depending if I want to, I will make other videos. If they requested a lot of this video that's really good, then I might probably start making more videos on tutorials on The Long Dark and stuff like that, or maybe even other games. But like I said, let me know if you guys liked it, if you guys if it was too long or stuff like that. Do let me know. That the feedback helps me out a lot. But again, thank you again. You guys have an awesome day. Stay strong, and I hope this makes you a very awesome survivalist machine in this game. And I hope your game goes amazing. And take care. Stay safe out there. And I'll catch you guys on the next video. Have a great day.